Hi, my name is Steve. I'm a systems engineer on the Omnii program, and today we'll be discussing the removal and installation of the back covers and pods on the Omnii XD10. The Omnii XD10 has two different backs. One is an integrated back where the scanner and imager is mounted right into the integrated back cover, and the other back that we have is a standard back cover which has the option for a pod mounting or an end cap expansion, as well as an option for a camera and a speaker. So let's get technical. As with any electronic equipment, it's important to wear the proper ESD protection. And we're going to be working on the standard back cover. So we'll remove that first by removing the two screws on the front face of the device. Both the standard back cover and the integrated back cover have the same two screws that hold the unit in the front, so those need to be removed. Continuing on to the back of the device, if your device has a pod, you'll need to remove the pod first. If you have a standard blank cover, then you will not necessarily need to do this step. So you need to remove the four screws around the pod. With the four screws now removed from the pod, we're now able to open up the pod. There's two screws that need to be removed from the flex bracket. With the bracket removed, we can now disengage the flex, and that removes the pod. Next, we'll remove the 8 screws around the perimeter, and this is common with the integrated back cover as well. The 8 screws are now removed from the back cover, and we're able to open up the device. There's a couple of connectors here we need to disengage. There's a speaker trigger connector that will always be present. There's the scanner flex, which was the flex in the pod. We can remove that. And the final step is to remove the camera flex if you have that option present. And that's the removal of the standard back cover. For the integrated back cover, the removal is very similar. With the 8 screws removed, again you have the trigger connector and you have the scanner connector. Once those are disengaged, the integrated back cover is removed. So we've completed the removal of the back cover. As you can see, at this level of assembly, the Omnii is exactly the same. So we'll continue now by installing back covers for you. So we'll continue by installing the integrated back cover, making the two connections, which are the trigger switch connection and the scanner flex connection. The trigger connection is right on the corner of the board here. And the next connection you're going to want to make is the scanner connection, making sure your flex cable is seated properly and locking the connection. And that completes the connections that need to be made for the integrated back cover. If you're installing a standard back cover, you can have an option of a camera and a speaker, and these connections will need to be made to the main logic board. In addition, if you decide to install a scanner pod, you will also need to install the intermediate flex cable. If this is the first time installation, you'll have to remove the spacer in the connector before you can install your flex cable. So the flex cable gets installed, making sure that you fully engaged and latch the intermediate flex. The other two connections can now be made, the trigger speaker connection and the camera connection. Those are the connections that need to be made. You can now install the screws on the back cover. These 8 screws are common with the integrated back cover and the standard back cover. So that's the 8 screws on the back of the device that holds the back cover on. And don't forget the 2 screws that are required on the front. And these 2 screws are the same 2 screws that would be used for the integrated. And if you were installing an integrated back cover, that will complete the installation for the integrated back cover. Since we're installing a pod with a scanner in it, we'll need to get the pod ready for installation. First thing we'll need to do is install the bracket onto the scanner. This bracket holds the flex cable in place when it's installed. bringing the flex cable around and engaging the flex cable into the scanner, making sure that both sides of the connector snap in place. Flip that pod into position and install the pod with the 4 screws. And those are the 4 screws required to install the pod. The 4 bosses in the back here are used for the pistol grip if you intend to install that, and the trigger actually is used with the pistol grip to activate the scanner. So that completes the installation of the back cover and pods. If you've changed the configuration of your device, you may require some software update configuration changes, which can be found in the user manual located at the ingenuityworking.com website. Hopefully you found this useful. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.